Oh my gosh, thank the Lord. This thing is not wanting to connect. So here we are, live, a few minutes late, later than scheduled, because Facebook did not want to cooperate with me. So, hey guys, thank you so much for being here. Super excited to jump on and chat with you guys. I'm going to go ahead and share this over, give people a minute to jump on before we get started on this hangout session. So excited. All right. Never done a Facebook Live in the evening, so I'm kind of excited to hopefully reach some different and new people. That'll be good. All right, here we go. Hey, whoever jumps on, you guys introduce yourself. Giving everybody a couple minutes to jump on here. So if you want to let me know and say hey, I would totally appreciate it. Hope you're having a kick-ass night and that things are going really well for you, or you had a good day. Let's see, let me share this on over. Again, I was having some connection issues and took me a minute to get on. So I was running a minute behind, so thank you for your patience. And I hope you guys have some questions. And again, like, this is totally just a hangout, and I really want to just be here for you and answer any questions you have about my business, about your business, about management or time management or planning or procedures or my life, whatever you want to ask me. I'm in. Let's do it. Let's have this conversation. So I think this will be fun. I did one earlier this morning and it was really fun. So we did coffee earlier this morning. I think I'm going to have a beer. Well, it's not really beer, it's cider. Yeah. I haven't had a beer in a while, so I'm going to have one. Cheers to you. There's nothing wrong with that, right? We had coffee this morning. We'll have cider tonight. 7 p.m. my time. It's totally acceptable. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here. Like I said, if this is your first time logging into my Facebook Lives, I'll just give you a quick intro on who I am. My name is Jamie Thurber, and I am an online project manager and productivity expert. So what I do for people is help them completely take control of their life and their schedule, and then be able to live life intentionally and on purpose and with ease. It really is able to remove a lot of stress. So that's what I do. I used to work in the automotive industry for 8 years and managed the business there, did event planning, did a lot of things while I was working there. So I have a lot of tricks up my sleeve and a lot of things that I have created all of this business off of my experiences and the things that I have used that work and the things that I used that didn't work helped me make this. So I really wanted to, my job or my goal in life is to really share that with people as much as I possibly can and be able to help them. So I am here to answer questions tonight. And side note, guys, I'm not sure how many of you are friends with me on my personal page. But I just wanted to say thank you to you guys. We had an emergency in our family today, and my uncle was rushed to the hospital and is in emergency surgery. Well, he actually just got out. But I posted something about that, asking for some prayers and some positive vibes, and you guys have been amazing and given so much response, and I just want you to know how much I appreciate that. I appreciate the love and prayers and your guys' support. Seriously, it means the world to me. And he seems to be doing good, so we'll see how things go. He's in ICU. But anyway, I just really wanted to take a minute and let you guys know and acknowledge that and let you know how grateful I am for you and grateful I am for your support. I think that's huge. So thank you very, very, very much. I have a few things that I can talk about if you guys don't have any questions. So here's the deal. So my biggest thing is that I believe that everyone can have whatever they want. Yep, I said it. I believe that people can have whatever they want in life. I truly believe that with the proper mindset and the proper focus and a plan to get there, that you literally really can have whatever you want. For the people who are jumping on, guys, I'm just kind of getting started, just kind of talking about a few random things about my business and about how you can live your life on purpose, things like that. So if you have questions throughout this broadcast at any time, please feel free to jot them in below about anything that you would like to know about. And then also say, hey, I wonder who I'm hanging out with tonight. Again, like I said, this is the first time I've done a Facebook Live in the evening, so I wasn't really sure how popular it would be. I kind of thought maybe there'd be more people that were available in the evening, so I wanted to give it a shot and see who wanted to jump on and hang out. Yeah. So anyway, that's why we're here. And so again, so what I say is that I really do believe that people can have whatever they want. Like, I think it's totally possible. And instead of saying and talking about what you want and saying that you may not ever get it, why don't you create a plan and get it? Like, it's as easy as that. Now, I understand that it takes commitment and it takes discipline. And that's very, very true. So you can create all the plans that you want in life, but if you're not executing on them, then what's the point? Right? You're not going to get anything unless you're executing. So that's really big. It's very important. A big thing. So what I do for people is really help them get to that point. And how do you do that? You have to get really freaking clear on what it is that you want. How do you get clear? You brainstorm. You make a list of what's important to you. Make a list of what needs your time on a daily basis. You make a list of what you can delegate to other people that you don't need to waste your time on, but still need to be done or maybe your responsibility. So you just need to get really clear on what you are going to spend your time on, okay? Like, that's what's going on. That's the big thing. And once you do that, then you can start to create a plan. And you can start to look at your schedule and figure out when you have available time and figure out when you can find time to allow you to work on each one of those items that you just got really clear on needing to do. So it's important. It's definitely easy. But what I want to share with you is that there is no like, voila, here's your perfect plan. Here you go. Here you go. It works, guys. Woo! It works. Perfect. No, that's not how it works at all. I wish that there was. I wish there was a magic pill I could give you that just made you productive and made the perfect plan for you. But that's not how it works. So what works is that you make a commitment to saying, hey, I'm going to live on purpose. I'm going to get shit done every day in an intentional way and move forward. Like, that's very, very important. That's huge. That's the ticket, guys. Like, that is the ticket. Big, big time. And the big thing is that you're able to execute. That is the next step. Like, you have to. Let's see what Dave says. I have too much to do. Join the club. Join the club, Dave. You have too much to do. We all have too much to do. But I guarantee, and not enough time. Again, agreed. That is the number one thing I hear from people. But what I can tell you is, if you were to sit down and really, really look at what all of the obligations you have, all of the things that need your time, and then look at your available time, if you were to print out a blank schedule, okay, and then fill in the blanks. Fill in the times that you are at work or the times that you need to be with your kids or your family or whatever it may be. If you have sports that you play or appointments that you keep every week, whatever it is, fill it in. You fill it in. And then you see, I guarantee you when you do this, I've done this with so many people and I've blown their minds. They look at it and they're like, holy shit, I do have time to do that. Like, yeah, you do. You just have to want to do it. You have to stay on task and create the plan and move forward with it. If you don't do that, then you're never going to have enough time. And, side note, if you tell yourself that you don't have enough time, well, there you go. You're accepting that. You're like, oh, well, I have too much to do, not enough time. Well, anyway. No, you totally have to you have to play that game. Like, it's definitely something that you have to tell yourself, like, look, I know what I'm doing. I know what I need to get done. I have a plan and I'm going to do it. And if you walk in it that way and you be understanding and be empowered with what you know you need to do or what you know you want to handle, you will. I guarantee you will. Like, I promise you, it makes a huge, huge difference. See, I don't trust anyone to help, and this has always been my problem. Totally understand that. I have always had an issue with delegating up until recently, and I definitely had to work through that. So it's one of those things, though, you know, you make that decision. Like, if you make the decision to not allow other people to help you, again, you made that decision. That is your choice. So if that's the way that you want to operate, then you better get a plan and get really freaking organized so you can make the things happen. Like, that's the thing. And so I get that. Like, I understand that you may not want to delegate things and you may not trust other people to help you. If that's the way that you want to operate, because that's a whole nother ballgame. We could go off into left field with that. But if that's the way you choose to operate your life or business or whatever it is we're talking about here, I want you to know that, again, that's a choice. So you need to accept that, not use that as an excuse, because what's that getting you? Nothing. And you're going to create a plan. You're going to make shit happen. Stick to your plan. I would love to ask you, Dave, do you walk into the day with a plan or do you wing it? Like, do you have a time frame to do each thing or know what you need to accomplish every single day, or do you wing it every day? Because that's a really big thing. A lot of people are like, well, I mean, I know. Like, I know what I need to do. Like, well, do you have a written plan? They're like, no. Like, well, there you go. So, like, you don't have anything to keep you focused and, like, keep you on track. And that's a really big, I mean, it's like gold. It's like a key. It really, really helps. There's just a lot of other things that you can do, but I'd have to know more, kind of more specifically what you're talking about in order to kind of give you the specific tips that I think may help. So let's see. James, you're totally right. Like, I mean, it's not always easy for everybody to understand that. Like I just said, like, that they can't accept that as a reason. Like, you can't accept that as an excuse. And if you continue to accept that as an excuse, that's fine. That's your choice. But then you need to be okay with the fact that you're not going to be super productive, or you're not going to get everything done, you know, or it may take you a whole lot longer to get to your goals. Like, again, it's a choice. Big time choice. Let's see. You know, James, it's funny that you say that, because he said on here, he said, be real with yourself. So one of the things that I'll tell you, I never really expected when I started really teaching people how to be more productive and how to be more organized, was how much I really needed to go through with them, that they really do just need to be real. Like, they need to just be honest. Like, don't give me the bullshit that I don't have enough time or you have too much to do. Don't give me that shit. Like, be honest with me. What actually needs your time, and what time do you have available to do it, and let's figure it out. Everybody has the same 24 hours. Nobody gets like a special card and gets extra hours. We all have the same 24. It's just all about how we decide to use them. Like, I get a lot of shit done every single day all the time, and I've always been like that, and I sleep 8 to 9 hours a week. Or a night. A night. God, if I did it a week, I'd die. I have to. I know that for myself, but I put that in my plan. Like, I know what time I need to go to bed, because otherwise I don't feel good. What I'm trying to say is we all make our own choice. We all are able to decipher that. It really is, it really is up to you. Like, what I do for people is help them get clear on that and help them see it and help them organize it to where it works and get really specific on what works for you and for your life. Because a lot of times, and this is the thing I want to tell you, I really want to be clear on this. Please don't, like, be pissed off or aggravated or, like, mad at yourself or think you're, like, not amazing because you can't manage that schedule or get it all organized yourself. It's a normal thing for people to need sometimes someone else to help them, or someone else to jump in and show them, you know, oh, but you have this time. Because we're so easy to keep our blinders on that we don't see the time that we have. We don't see the things in front of us. We don't see the available space for all this stuff that you feel like is like piling on top of you. So many of us walk around and we have, you know, all of this stuff, like this giant cloud or this weight on our shoulders, and we feel like we don't have enough time. And so that puts these blinders on, and we can't see that for ourselves. We can't see the time that we have available or the way that we could actually really organize it and get it done. So I need you to understand, like, don't be aggravated with yourself. Sometimes we just need help. Meaning, I understand, again, Dave, like, mentioned, you know, he doesn't trust people to help him. But what I mean by help is you need somebody that can support you and show you, and, like, be that second set of eyes and, like, give you advice on that stuff. Like, somebody who knows it, like, like me, like somebody who knows that specifically. Like that's what I do for people. That's how I help business owners and family men and college students, you know, that just feel like they have too much weighing down on them and not enough time to do it, and they get stuck and they're stuck in a rut and they're like, shit, what do I do now? You know, it's definitely, it happens to the best of us. It happens to everybody. It's just a matter of being strong enough and being able to look at that and understand, okay, I need somebody to help me. I need somebody to look at it and say, what's the best way for this? I need a second set of eyes. I need somebody to give me some advice. And if you're strong enough to admit that and then seek out that help, that's the difference. That's the difference between succeeding and not succeeding. That's the difference between stuck in a rut and not. Big time, big time. Let's see. Hey, Kara, I love you too. Let's see here. James, a lot of stuff I learned from society were distractions until I followed people who were successful and copied their shit. Here's the deal, James. You totally got a good point here. So distractions is a huge issue. A huge issue. So the distractions part of things, again, is a choice. And now I hear like you've obviously worked on that. But what I'll tell you is one of the biggest problems that people have is they allow themselves to be distracted. There's two sides to this. Number one, it's typically social media, email, text messages, things like that we allow to be like little shiny objects, pull us off of our track all the time. And then when that happens, we can't get back. Okay? So you need to get that away as much as possible. You need to eliminate it. Turn off the notifications. Only check your emails certain times of the day. Only check your Facebook certain times of the day. Don't allow things to bing on your computer because God knows that we're going to get distracted. It's what happens. But the other thing about that is the number one killer of your productivity is multitasking. And I blow people's minds every time I talk about this, but it's the truth. Multitasking is the number one killer of productivity because you're not able to focus. Our brains truly cannot 100% hone in on one thing and complete it while you're dinging over here and all this. You have to stay focused. It's really what you need to do in order to stay in the game is to cut out the multitasking. So what I mean by that is you choose a task and you focus on it for however many minutes. I use a timer a lot of times to keep me on task. Some other people do that too. It really helps to assign time limits to things. But when you're doing something, like create your list and focus on the first thing and that's it. Like nothing else comes in play there. You guys are able, if you're able to do that and stay focused, not only will you get more stuff done faster, but you're also going to give a better finished product because you're paying attention. And so therefore you're going to be producing the best quality of that product because the more focused you are, again, you're going to make your best work. And that's really what matters, for sure. For sure. So James, you may see that, and I don't know how you feel about the multitasking, but that always goes hand in hand with me when it comes to distractions when I'm talking about that. So another thing that James mentioned here, which is really powerful, is who you follow. Meaning, don't allow negative bullshit to take up your space, because that not only distracts you, but it gets you down, and nobody wants that. Like, nobody wants to be depressed all the time or to look at your social media and get angry. Like, that's stupid. So if somebody's posting shit that you don't like and it's making you angry, then unfriend them. Or if you don't want to, because I personally don't typically unfriend people because I don't even want to deal with that. But you can go up to their profile and hit unfollow. So then their stuff doesn't show up on your newsfeed anymore. You only see the things you want to see. You have control over what shows up, really. So you're able to control that, and that's a big thing that really helps you stay in a positive mood, in a positive state of mind, surrounded by productive, kick-ass people that make you want to be productive and kick-ass. So that's huge. It's definitely a really big thing that you can do, a really great tool to keep that mindset where it needs to be. So when you do have your time on social media, you're not consuming a bunch of crap, let's be honest. Like, there's so much stuff. And like, I have people come to me, did you see that video about that cat, or that video about that, something Donald Trump said or whatever? And I'm like, no, I didn't see it because I don't have that shit on my news feed. I don't need that in my life. If I want to know what's going on in politics, I'll look it up. Like, I'll watch whatever. Again, I don't watch the news because I don't believe anything they say. But whatever, that's a whole other story for another day. But you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you can choose what's in front of you. You can choose what you get to consume. So keep that in mind. And if you don't know where that unfollow button is, let me know. Send me a link and I'll show you, because it's a pretty convenient little guy. All right, let's see. Dave, I love that you're trying. I think that's amazing. The fact that you see that it's something that you need to work on, that's step one. Like, you know, not just walking around with your head in the clouds or walking around stuck in a rut, like seeing that you need to change it and then take some action. I do these videos every day, usually during the afternoon. So if you're working, you're not able to check them, check it in the evening. I usually give tips every day on ways that you can increase your productivity and really take control of that time and things like that. Again, I know you said that you're lacking on time, but I am hosting a group coaching type training for 6 weeks. It'll take about an hour of your day, an hour a week, that will be live, that you have to be live. You don't have to, but I typically have 2 live calls every week, so each are about an hour, and then I'm live in the group, and you can show me your schedule. We can go over it specifically. We can go over it in detail to what matters to you, and we can make it work for you. In that coaching group is where I'm able to really go one-on-one with people on a different level than I do, because I have a higher level of customers where I go in and I do their their management, and I'm actually inside of their business. But not everybody needs that. So that's why I created this group that I'm going to be, it launches on the 11th, and you can join that group and be involved in that and get the same type of support from me, and being able, not only that, but I hold you accountable. So Dave, when you say you're going to do something, and you know, it's really easy to be like, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this plan in place. I'm going to do it. And you believe yourself for like a few minutes, and then something else happens and we forget about it. It happens. It's human nature. But in this instance, you have me to hold you accountable and to question you, you know, hey, how's that going? Like, did you get it done? How's it going? That type of thing. So it's definitely really important, and it's really beneficial to people. And again, like, having support, there's nothing wrong with that. And if you want to do it all by yourself, that's okay too, but you can have somebody come in from the outside more as like a consultant in your life and let you know, hey, this is what I think, or this is what I would do, or maybe you should try this. And it's not that you're trusting that person to do it for you, but you're taking their advice and allowing them to kind of take a peek into what it is that you're struggling with your schedule and fitting everything into it. And then they can give you that more information, and you're able to be like, oh, well, hell, I can make that work. Does that make sense? That's really the gist of why I created this group coaching program, or this group program that I am launching in in a week and a half, because people need that, and there's nothing wrong with that. We all need it. We all need it for sure. Like, I have to check in with myself on a regular basis on my personal schedule and be like, look, is this working or is this not working? You know, what do you, like, for example, I just started training 3 times a week for an hour, which means that I have to wake up earlier, to eat earlier, to get to the gym, then to get home from the gym. So it cuts out, you know, a whole 2 hours practically of my day. So I had to readjust my own schedule because that's important to me, and I wanted to make time for it. So I wake up an hour earlier, and I hate it. But I do it, and it makes me feel better, and it's part of my goals, and I'm super excited. And I think the more I do it, the less I'll hate it. But just saying, like, everybody has to reevaluate that sometimes. And it's the way that it works. Like, I have my own coaches and consultants that I go to when I'm stuck on something and say, hey, I need some support, guys. Like, this is what I'm struggling with. Can you help me? And it's their expertise that helps show it to me, or helps me feel better about whatever it is that I'm struggling with. And that's okay. Like, that's how you build a business. That's how you build a successful life. That's how you fit everything in, is when you go to somebody else and say, hey, like, holy shit, Rome wasn't built in a day, and it surely wasn't built just by me. So can you help me out? Like, I say that a lot, I know, but it's the truth. So that's why I say it. Let's see. All right, James, I'm really glad that you agree with that multitasking. A lot of people try to argue with me about multitasking. They're like, it's such a great thing. And my response is, unless you're a mother and you have a baby on your hip and you're trying to cook dinner and or clean your house or do other tasks or be on the phone. And even then, it still doesn't really work that well most of the time. But sometimes, as a mom or a dad, when you have a child, you don't really have a choice sometimes but to multitask. So that is the exception to the rule. There's always an exception to the rule, guys. All right, you guys have been awesome. I love this. If you have any more questions, please let me know. I am going to check here on my, when I do these threads, it puts the comments in 2 different places. So I have to check on my computer sometimes to see where we're at. All right, guys. Let's see. So, big holiday weekend for everybody here in the States. That's exciting. 4th of July is my favorite day of the entire year, by the way, for the record. Favorite day of the entire year. Number 1, because fireworks are my favorite thing. They make me the happiest human being alive. And then secondly, because I am super patriotic, and the whole idea behind the day, or what the day represents, is huge for me. And it's Happy Birthday America, and I love it. So let's see, Adam, what is this? This, Adam, thank you for jumping on. This is a live little hangout that we're having. We're talking about how to be more productive, how to take control of our lives, questions that people have, things that work for them, things that work for me, questions that people have for me about my life or my business or how I help people. It's really just we're hanging out, talking about stuff. And I'm giving people some insight or some inside information on ways that they can better their lives or help with things that they're stuck on, that kind of stuff. So that's what we're doing, Adam. It's been pretty cool so far. Lots of conversation, lots of good questions. If you have anything, jump in and ask away. If you don't know, I'm a productivity expert and an online project manager. So what I do is help people really take control of their schedules, their lives, their businesses, and be super productive and live on purpose. Take intentional action every day. That's what I do. I had somebody send me a message one day, and it was the best message I've ever received. And he said, so you create superpowers? And I was like, what? And I was like, oh, yes, superhuman productivity. I say it all the time. And I was like, what are you talking about? It was the best. Superpowers. I go, yes, I create superpowers, meaning I create people who can get everything done. That's what I create. It's a pretty good superpower. For sure. James, have you heard of Six Sigma? I have not. I have not. Here, let me write it down. Discipline and data-driven approach. Interesting. Huh. So there's a lot of, James, I'm looking at this, I'll have to look more at it later. There's a lot of different programs or very strategic, defined classes and things about getting productive and organizing your life and things like that. One of the things that I will tell you from my personal experience is that I don't like to utilize things like that because everyone is different. Now, that may not make my business as lucrative as it possibly could be for, if I created just one strategic plan and said, this is what everyone needs to do. But what I've learned is that my goal is to personally help everyone that I can that has problems or has questions when it comes to being more productive and getting rid of the things that stop you from being productive and things like that. And I have learned that it really takes me to get to know them and their personality because everyone's different and not everything works for every person. So for example, even down to the type of planner that they use. There are certain people that can't use the type of planner that I have. It doesn't work for them. And they start to get really overwhelmed when they look at it. Or certain people that don't like to look at things by the week. They like to look at it by the month. Whatever. Everybody's personality is different. And there are certain things that work for them and certain things that don't. So I really typically try to kind of steer clear of those different types of strategies that are licensed or whatever, I guess you would call it, if you know what I mean, just because of that purpose, because I really do feel like every one of my clients is different. every one of them responds to something different. You know what? My management clients, they all have a different management system to manage their projects, and I promise you that it matches their personality 100%. Like if there are certain people who are super like data driven and super like black and white, then there's a program called Reich that's really good for them, and it works really good for them. And then I have clients that are much more like on the creative side, and they're creating campaigns and writing a lot, and very like they want to live a life of ease and they want to be on flow. Like then Basecamp's really good for them. Then I have people who really want something super simple. They don't want to spend a lot of time in it, and they use Asana. So it's just like really funny. There's so many different programs, and they all do the same thing, really. But they fit different people depending on different people's, the way that their mind works, the way their organization works, the way that they like their product to look, the way that they like to organize things. Like, so it's just very, very interesting. I love that. It's so fun for me to ask those questions and really get to know people and see what fits them best. So it's really fun. But that's why. So let's see what you say. My major told me about it from seeing my book I was reading. I mean, absolutely. Like, I'll definitely read into it. Thank you for telling me about it. This, again, it may be something that works really well for you. It may be something that works really well for me. I just haven't heard of it yet. So I'll definitely read about it. I'm not saying that any of these things are wrong. That's the other thing. Like I talked about earlier, it's not that anything's wrong. It's just that it's what fits for you. And sometimes it takes adjusting it a little bit to really be able to find what works for you with your scheduling. I need some water. I totally just spilled out myself. I don't know if you guys can see that, but I did. It happened. So classy. Such a lady. Let's see. How would I figure out my planning? I hit my core 4, but want to be more effective. Awesome. James, I love that question because I absolutely, like, the core 4 is huge for me. So people who don't understand, like, what we're talking about is how we balance our lives, how we fit in, you know, our businesses, our family, our personal development, as well as our, what am I missing? Body, like fitness. So one of the things that I find to be really interesting about this is I've had a lot of den members or different people that are trying to really focus on fitting in all this balance reach out to me, and we work together actually because they're having a hard time fitting it all in. Like they know what they need to do, but they're not consistently hitting all 4 things the same every single day, or they're feeling really like overwhelmed by trying to get it all done, so they feel like they're not doing it all at the best of their ability. You know what I mean? Like how you just said being more effective, like they feel like they're not being more effective because they're kind of like rushing to fit it all in. So there's a couple different things, and it's really just comes down to planning. I think that's really big, and I believe in planning out your week. At the beginning of the week, whether it be the Sunday before is typically the best thing for me, and it's definitely one of the most effective things that I've put into place in my life is creating a plan on Sunday that plays out my whole week and living by it, sticking to it. And if something happens, obviously I still don't have a guideline. If something like a wrench gets thrown in my plans, like I still have a guideline, and I still have a guideline of when I know that I'm going to work on each area of my life that's important to me. And that's been really, really big and beneficial, James. So I think that if you're not planning on a weekly basis, that may be really beneficial. And if you are planning on a weekly basis and you still feel like you're not being as effective, just reach out to me. We can talk about it. There's a couple of guys that we had conversation. That wasn't enough for them, so they paid for I have this power session where it's a 1-hour thing. We have a conversation about your scheduling and really get to the bottom of creating a plan for you. But then I also just recently launched, and actually there's a couple people from the Lion's Den that joined it. It starts on the 11th, and it's a boot camp for 6 weeks that will be very in-depth one-on-one, me supporting you on how to be more effective with your planning and really schedule promptly and things that work best for you. And I'm going to be able to be there one-on-one, asking, answering any questions people have, looking at their schedules, looking at what's important to them, fitting them in. I'll be doing 2 live calls every week to answer any questions, look at things, give give lots. I have lessons or like some things to really teach you guys. And this is the stuff that I teach my high-level business management clients that are running, you know, multi-million-dollar businesses or just trying to really run their life on a more balanced, more efficient level. So I'm going to put all of that and package it together in this 6-week course. So it should be, the reason being for 6 weeks is because it'll give you enough time to really implement those habits and then have me there to hold you accountable along that time frame. So I think it's just enough time to really get that into play, and then I'm there to help you along the way. So if either one of those things you think may be beneficial to you, let me know. Like the power sessions on my website, very brief description. It's pretty self-explanatory. The boot camp, when we're off the phone, our office call, I'll post the link to it in the comments, and you can check it out. Like I said, there's a couple people from the den that were like having a lot of problems, and they signed up and they're really excited about taking super control of their planning, their scheduling. So I think it'd be real beneficial. Let's see. Ezra. Do I like family history? I do. I wish that I knew more about my personal family history. I do on my mom's side, which is not the Thurber side. And my family's done a lot of really in-depth research on their side of the family. And we've done some on my Thurber side, but not a whole lot. It's something that I've always wanted to do, but I've never had, it's never been a big priority to me where I've made out the time to do it, you know? Like, it would be cool to do someday, and I probably will sometime when the fever strikes and I want to do it. But I'm a firm believer in, like, I get that urge to do something, and then I make the time for it and do it. So when that time happens, I definitely will dive a little bit more into my family history on the Thurber side for sure. Let's see, James. It is on my profile. I've mentioned it a few times in different things. Let's see. I don't think it'll let me put it on while we're on the phone. But it's like a super long, it's a really long URL. So, but if anybody has any more questions, go ahead and answer or ask away here. Let's see, James. It is, so my website's jamiethurber.com, and then it's /goal/diggers/bootcamp /. So that's it. But again, I'll post the link so you can just click on it if you want. Perfect. Yeah, it's in some of my posts. Like, you'll see it. I've shared it a few times on my personal profile and on my business profile. So, all right, guys, I still have some people live on here, so if you have questions, let me know. Again, I'd be really happy to answer anything that you want to know. Yeah, thank you. So, Gold Diggers is like such a play on words. I'm so excited about it. I saw it a while ago. I actually have a shirt that says it and stuff. But I just think it's funny because I hate when people are like stereotypical towards people. So when I say gold diggers, people think I'm saying gold digger, and it's hilarious because I'm like, you're such a judgmental like human. I hate it. So I think it's a funny play on words, and I like totally empower or like embody that that definition. So gold diggers is huge for me because I think that's exactly what is going to be really covered in the boot camp, and just really taking control of life and hitting your goals and stuff like that. So I just thought it was a cool name. I was excited about it for sure, for sure. I didn't have time. I was like, I should get some photos done, look like I'm like a drill sergeant. But I'm really not going to be like a drill sergeant during the boot camp, so I was like, yeah, it's probably not a great idea because that's not how it's going to be. But anyways, all right, guys. So I wanted to answer this last question real quick that I received earlier, and it was, what changed my life the most? So like, what changed your life the most? And it's a combination of two things. The one is that I stopped being negative. Sounds really easy, I know, but I stopped being negative and I removed the negative bullshit from my life. So, meaning the negative words, the negative people, the negative stuff around me, the way that I talk to myself, like all that stuff. Change it. Look, gone. Get out. Like, I don't have time for you. And it's made a completely difference in every part of my life. And it was a hard at first. Like, that's what I want to tell people. If they want to do that, like, it's a daily decision that you make. A decision that you make every time somebody comes to you and is rude or, you know, tries to get you down, that kind of thing. So it's definitely a daily decision that you make, and one that you, it's a choice. It's a choice. So that mixed with really living my truth, meaning this is really what I want to do, you guys. Like, what I do here and what I give you guys on my videos and like the stuff I write all the time, like, it really does come from in here. Like, every part of this is 100% who I am. It's the person that I've become, the person that I've, through my journey, my lessons, all the crap, you know, and the things that happen. Like, it's just truth. And that's why, like, those are the things, is just really being like, you know what, I really don't care. This is something that I felt for a really long time that I needed to do, is to get out here and do my thing and speak my words and share my truth with everyone. And that's what I'm doing. And it's been a journey, you know, and it happens more and more. If you've been following me for a while, I think you may see, like, as I've continued on the journey with my business, like, it's happened more. Like, I give a whole lot more, and it becomes easier and it becomes more natural. And it makes me realize even more, though, that this is why I'm here. Like, I want to help people as much as I can. Like, absolutely. I want to see everyone conquer their goals. I want to see everyone take over the world. Like, I tell everybody, like, the same thing we do every day, Pinky. Try to take over the world. Like, if you guys can see behind me here, my little fish tank, I have a fish. His name is Pinky, and there's a snail in there, and his name is the Brain. I am a huge dork, in case you didn't know that. But that's the truth. So that's the reason. Like, that's the biggest thing, the biggest, like, game changer for me. But it's again, it's a choice. It's something that you work at. It's not like you, like, open your eyes and you're like, oh, I'm positive, I'm productive, I'm gonna live my truth. Like, no, you have to work at it. Like, you have to make it happen. But you have to want it. Like, and it all comes down to how bad you want it. Because if you really want it, if you really, really want it, guys, you're gonna do something about it. I promise. And it may not be today, and it may not be tomorrow, but one day that itch is going to be so big, and you're just going to burn so much. Like, you're going to have that, like, burning sensation here saying, like, oh my God, like, I have to do this or I'm going to explode. Like, it's going to happen, and then you're going to take action and you're going to do it. So, I firmly believe that. 100%. Let's see what James said. Thank you. He said, you're doing great. Well, I totally appreciate that. I really 100% appreciate you guys being here and asking questions and being live in the conversation. This has been really fun. If you guys like this, I'd really love to do this more often. Just kind of like do a hangout. Let's talk about whatever. Let me answer your questions, help you whatever way I can, that kind of thing. I think it's fun, and I think that it's, other than me just jumping on and giving like my advice or my tips, which I do during the day, I think this is just kind of a different spin on things. And it's fun to have the interaction and the conversation, because it's what I'm here for. Like, I want to make connections with you guys. I just don't want to be that girl talking in her office, you know. So definitely interesting, and I want to be here and continue doing it. So let me know if you guys like it. Again, give me a thumbs up if you think this video has been awesome, and I totally appreciate you guys being here and watching and supporting, and I appreciate it. So go out there, kick some ass. I know it's like nighttime for most of you, because it is for me, but kick ass the rest of the day, kick ass tomorrow. Enjoy your weekend. The weekend's going to be awesome. In St. Louis it's supposed to rain, so whatever, but it's okay. I'm going to go spend the weekend with my my brand new little nephew that was just born, and his mama. His mama is my best friend in the whole wide world, so I'm like, I'm not going to let you sit by yourself on 4th of July, so I'm going to come over and hang out with her and her husband and barbecue and stuff. So anyway, it'll be fun. I'm excited. So I will be on again probably tomorrow to talk to you guys and share some stuff. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments or send me a message, and I will be sure to answer you. And thanks for watching. I appreciate it, guys. Bye!